A big thank you to all of you who have subscribed and been watching the content on this channel. We have just surpassed another milestone of 6,000 plus subscribers. This is just really fantastic. The next milestone I'm looking forward to reaching is obviously the next 1,000, but we're so close to that 10,000 mark now that hopefully we'll be able to reach that in the next few months or so, and that would just be a really momentous moment for this channel. So thank you so much for being a part of this community, and we're just going to keep growing. What I'm going to do is shift gear, and rather than talking about display calibration, color management, display review, what I want to do is talk about gear in general, just camera gear, and the professional service side of things, of being part of that membership program. I photograph with Nikon products, so if you don't know yet, now you know I photograph with Nikon products. And essentially, Nikon has a program called NPS, which stands for Nikon Professional Service. They just announced a Revamp program for 2021 with some changes to the membership tier and everything. And I'd like to share with you what changes are in the program for 2021 and how does it compare to the other camera manufacturers. So let's find out together. I'm Art and ArtIsRight. Before we start, subscribe if you're new and hit on the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I upload cool new videos like this. I've been a Nikon user for 20 plus years now, starting with the film camera, the f80 N80, f100, the f5, which I still own that body, and I haven't had a chance to play around with the f6 at all, but I know that they just discontinued that body, so it's no longer really around for me to play with. I may be able to get it from rental company somewhere, so we'll see about that, but I'm not, really losing sleep over that at all. I also stuck with Nikon during the digital transition as well. And back then when the digital transition really happened, it was just really a duopoly between Nikon and Canon. So Canon had the full frame, Nikon did not. I stuck with Nikon with their D200. I had multiple of those bodies. I introduced some Fuji cameras during that time as well that shares the Nikon F mount. And then I move over to the D3. Currently I'm shooting with D810s, D850, the Nikon C7 or Z7 depending on where you are in the world. And Nikon has a program called NPS, Nikon Professional Service, which is a global program. So if you belong to one of the regional Nikon NPS program, you belong to the global Nikon NPS program. Apparently, the way how this is working is that the regional Nikon offices or subsidiaries are administering these programs. So the membership perks and the membership tiers are going to be different throughout the world. What I'm going to focus on is share with you what is being done in the US. So if you want to see what's being done in the USA, this would be great. If you're somewhere else in the world, if you're in the US, well, these are pretty much the tier and what they have announced for 2021. Just something to note too is that throughout the years, I mentioned already, I've shot with a Fuji camera, I've shot with a Fuji X, I shot with Olympus, I used Panasonic, I've owned Sony gear. So I pretty much use many of the camera manufacturer brands out there, also including Canon as well. I train people on how to use Canon as well, although I don't own any Canon gear myself, but I've played with all those gears and I understand the way how their camera system works and everything. And to me, Nikon has always have a more intuitive approach to things. You grab it, you can go right away. The menu is not as cryptic as some of the other camera manufacturers. It doesn't require a manual all the time. And I feel that it's made for, photographers like myself and not so much for engineers and for another engineer to use it. So that's kind of my thought about that. So let's talk about Nikon NPS program in the US. In the past, what you have to do is own a qualifying amount of gears and you just have to apply to it. Most of the time you'll get in. So either you're in NPS or you're not in NPS, and that was pretty much it. There was not really a lot of criterias otherwise to really be part of the program. In the latter years of the program, what they have done is introduce membership tiers. So every camera that you own contributes to a certain amount of points, and those points are a variable of time. So as year goes by, those points decrease for the cameras that you own. So as the camera body gets older, the point do decrease based on, the yearly value that they have assigned to that camera or that body in general. And I've always owned enough equipment to be part of like the highest tier. So last year, for instance, I think it was at the very top, which was their titanium. So I enjoy all the benefit. And the nice thing about Nikon NPS program in the US in previous years as well is that it was all complimentary. It doesn't matter what membership tier you are. It's just how much equipment you own. So Nikon have revamped that this year in 2021, and they have announced a new membership program and a new tier system. So the qualification is that you have to be an imaging or a video creator in the US. And from what I'm finding out and reading the fine print of them is that you can only be part of an NPS in one region, even though you're in NPS of the world, as I mentioned before, but you can only be a member for one region. I'm not sure how much information they share between one region to another region. I don't know, can you get away with joining, let's say, one here and one in Japan or something like that? I have no idea for dual residency, so that's a really great question there. But I'll say this though, being part of an NPS, it's great because when I travel to give conferences in other countries, sometimes I don't want to carry all my lens or I don't want to carry all my gear, or some of the lens I want to use for that assignment I don't have. I can always contact the local Nikon NPS in the other country and ask for a loaner equipment for those special educational programs. And that always have worked well for me. But that being said, the other qualification there is you have to own 2 Nikon digital cameras or qualifying ones, and you have to own 2 qualifying Nikon Nikkor lenses. So I already surpassed that. That's not really a problem for me. Let's have a look at the NPS tier for 2021. Starting with the Pro, which is complimentary, and you get all these benefits. So NPS hotline, a dedicated representative, priority repair, no charge on ground return shipping on warranty repairs. So if it's out of warranty or if you have to pay for repair, you obviously have to pay for shipping back and forth, obviously. Priority purchase delivery, that's something that I use quite a bit and I find it useful, especially when new gears are coming out, the stocks are limited. I haven't used that so much in the recent, I would say, years or so, but in the past I have used that program and I find that really useful. Member-only webinar, product launch events, and virtual meetup, access to NPS events, virtual membership card, and a welcome kit. So probably a little tag or something like that. But anyway, they still maintain the Pro program, which is complimentary, which I like. That's a great thing that they're doing. The thing is this, they also have introduced 2, I would say, more premium tiers of membership. So you have the Pro Plus and Platinum. Let's take a look at the Pro Plus and see what you're getting. So that one will cost you $150 per year. And what you get in addition to the Pro membership, which is complimentary, is 5 equipment loan. So 5 pieces of equipment, 3 clean and check, that is for 3 pieces of equipment, 20% off repair. This is something that I was getting with the free membership tier before already because I was a titanium, but I no longer get that. So I have to pay to get the repair discount now. No charge overnight return shipping on warranty repairs. Again, if it's out of warranty, my guess is that you have to pay here. Loaners for certain repairs. So if your repair is going to take longer than a certain period of time, or if it's on parts hold or something, which can happen occasionally with Nikon products, you will get a loaner for that and a premium welcome kit, which I'm not really sure what's included in there. You may get a Nikon NPS backpack and a camera strap or something, so we shall see. And then they have the Platinum Plus program, which is $299.99 a year, or let's say $300, makes it easy. Everything from Pro, plus you get a 10% off one-time new Nikon product purchase up to $300 off, 10 pieces of equipment loan, 5 pieces of check and clean, 25% off repair, no charge overnight returns on warranty repair, loaner equipment for certain repair, and a premium welcome gift. A couple of things I want to mention about the equipment loaner is that I think it's a really great thing to have to just evaluate pieces of equipment from Nikon in general, certain gear that you're not sure you're going to need it or not. Truth be told, I haven't been using that program for the past, I would say, few years of my membership with Nikon, just because the one thing that really gets me is that I'm on the west coast of the United States. I'm in LA. Nikon main NPS locker is in Melville in New York. So every time I want to request the gear, I have to give them my either FedEx or UPS shipping number so that they can charge it directly to their account. And the only service that Nikon will ship on is 2 days overnight. So if you're in New York, it's not that big of a deal. You're still going to be paying some money to get the 2-day overnight to New York. But the thing is this though, because I live in LA, to get equipment loaner from Nikon, I'm paying $100+ to get that equipment shipped out to me. And usually that's 2 days out of the 14 days, loaner period. And I'm not sure if they're still keeping their loaner period 14 days or not with this change in the program. I read the fine print, it didn't say anything, but usually is a 14-day loaner period. So out of those 14 days, 2 days already in transit. So I have 12 days with the equipment. If I want to ship back economically, I have to use 2 days option, which again, that would take 2 more days off. So technically I'm with the equipment for about 10 days or so. Usually what I end up doing is that I end up just using it for the assignment and I ship it back by ground shipping. So I save a little bit more money on shipping charges, but That's the one pain point with the loanership program. So the thing is this, if you're in the East Coast of the United States, I think that's a perfectly great program. I think that if you're in the West Coast of the United States, especially if you're on the coastal area, Seattle, Oregon, LA, or California in general, it doesn't make a lot of sense just because they don't have a local NPS locker here in LA, and that makes it a really big pain point just to do the loaner. And that's something from my perspective that I have dealt with them in the past for that. As far as check and clean go, I think this is a right move and is a move in the right direction. Although you're going to see too that some other camera manufacturers, what they do is they extend the warranty of the product by either 6 months or a year or so when you join part of these programs, or even more than that, depending on the camera manufacturer. What I really like to see Nikon do is launch a paid extended warranty program when you purchase a camera, very similar to the way how Apple does it with AppleCare, for instance, where you get for example, the camera body warranty extended from 1 year to 3 years, for instance, and each year you can send your camera in for a check and clean. I think that would be great. The other thing too is they can always do a copay thing where if you have an impact damage on your camera, you have to pay a copay, and Nikon would take the camera in and do the repair for you. I think that would be something really great if they would launch a program like that. I haven't seen any camera manufacturer do a direct extended warranty program like that. There are third-party extended warranty programs, but generally, for me, I prefer that my camera go into the camera manufacturer to get repaired in general, because then you get Nikon genuine parts and all those things, or any other camera for that matter, any other brands. And I think that this is a good move, but it's not really entirely to move in the direction that I want to see. Here are my thoughts about the Revamp NPS membership tier in the US for 2021. I'm glad that they are still maintaining a pro complimentary program. So that means that if you're a current member right now, you can still join at the complimentary level. I think that's great. I think that the paid program brings them in line with other big camera manufacturers. So that makes sense. But I just feel that the timing for them to launch a paid program is a bit off. Personally, for me, if they would have announced this program, this paid tier in early 2020 before the global pandemic hit, it would make much more sense. Or if they have announced this in 2022 when the situation is back to somewhat of a normalcy, I think that would have been much better. Where this year, what they should have done is continue on the goodwill with their membership base and their customer base by extending the current membership tier from the previous year. But that's not what they have chose to do there. Personally, for me, I am joining on the complimentary level because I can't justify paying for the pro support right now, because I'm not really photographing that much. I'm an event photographer, and pretty much the number of jobs I'm getting are much sparse and much more few in between than in previous years because of what's really going on right now. I also work a lot and do a lot of work for hotels for both architecture and their events there. Obviously, hotels are not putting on together events, they're not remodeling the rooms. There's not a lot of jobs right now. So for me to justify paying for this just kind of seems difficult. The one good thing about this, though, is that with the Platinum Plus program, you have a one-time 10% off Nikon product purchase. So if you're buying a new lens, if you're buying a new body, if you're buying those things in combination, it would make sense for you to apply for this because they are going to give you $300 off, so up to $3,000 in Nikon equipment. And the great thing about this is that you can buy directly from Nikon or you can buy from your dealer, which is perfectly fine. And if you buy from a dealer, they will send you a check in the mail as a refund. If you buy it directly from Nikon, they will refund directly your credit card or however you pay for it. So I think that's a great thing there. So if you're buying new equipment, you can get the Platinum Plus membership for free. And I think that's a great thing to have. But otherwise, if you're not really getting any new piece of equipment, if you're just a current membership at level that I am, and you have all the equipment that you need right now, you're not photographing that much, these plans don't make too much sense this year at the current climate that we're in anyway. And that's just my thought about the whole thing. This is my personal opinion about it. Let's briefly compare Nikon new NPS tier with the other camera manufacturers' NPS program. They have 3 tiers as well for still photography: silver, gold, and platinum. So their silver is complimentary, similar to pro. Their gold is very similar to pro plus. And their gold, though, the annual membership fee is $100 instead of $150. So it's $50 less there. The discount and everything is very similar, although Canon put a stipulation of how many pieces of repair you get a discount on, where Nikon doesn't really stipulate that. The equipment loan or equipment evaluation is based on availability. But one thing that caught my eye below is the service facility shipment. For the gold membership, you're going to get free return shipment. They didn't stipulate this has to be for warranty repair only. So that's something that Canon's doing that Nikon mentioned that is for warranty repair. I'm not really sure if this is going to change or it'll offer leniency or something, but that's what we're seeing just based on reading a term and condition and just going over these comparison chart right now. Their CPS Platinum program is $300, and it offers somewhat similar benefit, a little bit more discount for a greater piece of equipment. Again, Nikon offer 25% off. They're pretty much very similar to each other with regards to repair and everything like that, with regards to what they're doing. The nice thing is that the Platinum program with Canon is that they will offer free shipping both ways in and out of repair facility. And I think with Nikon, just from reading the terms, it would seem is that you still have to cover your own shipment of the equipment into the repair facility. So that's just something interesting there. There's one more thing I want to say about Canon is that they have their repair facility throughout the entire US, which is really great. So you can ship your camera into the repair facility that's closest to you. And just looking at from the list here, based on their COVID-19 update from their support team, they have so many facilities. They even have one in Honolulu, Hawaii, so you don't have to ship your camera to the mainland to get a repair. I think that's just really fantastic. So they have so many different facilities there you can drop your camera off and everything. I think that's where Canon has pretty much the best repair facility location, hands down, compared to any of the other camera manufacturers out there. Moving on to Sony, they have the Imaging Pro Support Program, and for this one, you either become a membership or you're not, but the price of a membership I think is really great. It's only $100 a year. You get a lot of those benefits you can kind of see on the screen right there. What I really like about their program is that they will give you 3 pieces of equipment, complimentary maintenance per year, and free shipping to and from facilities. So that's kind of like a given, and if your repair is longer, they will give you equipment loan. I think that's really great of them. The next program I want to cover is Lumix Pro Services. This is the Panasonic program one. So there is a free tier for this. There is a red membership tier, which is complimentary if you own enough of their equipment. And then there is a platinum tier, which is a $200 per year. But the great thing about Panasonic Lumix Pro Service is that when you become a member of that, they extend the warranty on your product, on their product, up to 3 years. So you get 3 years extended warranty regardless if you go on the complimentary one or if you go on to the platinum one. And that's something really great too. They will offer free next day shipping both ways to and from facility, 20% off on repair, up to 2 shipment per year to 2 bodies and 2 lenses. So you can send it in for a free sensor, free EVF cleaning, or sensor or EVF cleaning, and also lens calibration and firmware upgrade. That's the only camera manufacturer on this list that I'm about to show you that will also do lens calibration as well. And I think that's just really fantastic for the price. Olympus, very similar program, $200, but this is for 2 years. And they will give you also a 6 months extended warranty in a camera body, 15% discount on repair. Pretty much everything else is in line with all the other camera manufacturers that we see. And Fuji being, I would say, the highest one out of the bunch is that you have to own, obviously, for all these programs, you have to own their product. But for Fuji, you have to own $3,000 of their product. And the annual program cost for Fuji Professional Service is $400, which I think is rather steep for what you're really paying for. But if you're a Fuji user and if you want to be part of their pro program, that would probably be something to consider. So this has been my thought and review of the Revamp NPS program in the US for 2021. If you're a Nikon Pro member in the US, let me know which tier you're planning to renew at. Give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, hit on the bell to be notified every time I upload cool new contents like this. And until next time, in art we trust.